you have this group. You said it was formed a few years ago. How many members do you have in this group? Does it have membership?
It's a loose membership type of thing. A lot of the communications are done by email distribution. There are no dues per se for the group, and so it's that way. But I would say there are a dozen to 2 dozen core people who participate in the group.
Now, I belong to the VFW in Tiverton, Rhode Island.
As do I.
Oh, well, fellow member.
Absolutely.
And you belong there?
No.
Oh, there was a meeting there, I would say a year ago or so. Was the meeting held by this group?
Was it called a tax revolt?
It was something about
Yeah.
people. The place was full.
Yeah.
I mean, it was full to the rafters. So
Yes,
your group,
that
or
was-
part of your group? Okay.
That was the TCC.
So there was a lot of people then, apparently, at that time at least, that were unhappy about the amount of taxes.
I don't know how well this rendered. In the last 10 years, this taxes have essentially doubled the tax levy. And there are people with the economy the way it is. That's one of the things we're finding, particularly with the school committee, is just this lack of acknowledgement that times are difficult and taxes have been going up. For example, last year they approved a large increase for teacher salaries, retroactive pay, all of that. Going into the financial town meeting, what they do is they lock the town into this contractual agreement, and that's sort of disregard for what the lives of the townspeople are like recently is really firing people up.
Well, when you get into, I don't know the mechanics of your town and how it runs, but in Fall River we have a city council, and they usually vote for the tax rate, tax increases. Similar with Tiverton as far as the select. Okay.
No, we have a different process, and would you like me to touch on it? I will.
Well, if you'd like to.
Yeah. The situation in Tiverton is that we have a financial town meeting, okay, which everyone should know is May 8th, and it's coming up, and set 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning, May 8th, at the Tiverton High School.
All right, so you're letting the people out there know
Yeah.
now
And this is
where this is going to be held. May 8th?
Tiverton High School, May 8th. It's a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And at this meeting, the budget, which the Budget Committee created, okay, the 4.4% proposed budget will be presented to the taxpayers, to the voters.
All right.
And the people at that meeting can vote to approve that budget, they can vote to reduce that budget, or they can vote to increase the budget.
And I know it happens.
And it does happen.
All the union people show up.
Yeah, and speak very loud.
Is it
We
become
prefer to
very
call them
skewed?
special interests, but yes, the special interest will all be
Yeah.
there.
All right,
So it's very important for anybody who wants to limit taxation or not see their taxes increase much to attend the financial town meeting and vote to stay under the tax cap. And really vote to support the Budget Committee recommendation, which will keep you under the 4.5% cap. Okay?
Richard, if I might add,
Sure.
there's an awful lot at stake at this financial town meeting on the 8th of May. Number one, only one issue is the taxation issue. 9% increase. That's double what the duly elected Budget Committee has recommended, 4.4%. The other issue is
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, please.
If the Budget Committee recommends one figure, who brought up the 9%?
It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented. It's never happened before in history of the town that the town council, seeing the Budget Committee's recommendation, by the way, we are fully in accordance with the law, 11 elected members of the community recommended this budget. The town council, never before done, took one look at our 4.5%, actually 4.4% budget, and then they said they didn't like it. They commissioned the town administrator to come up with another budget. Their budget is close to 9%. That's why it's so important.
This was superseded, what your recommendation was, by the town council.
They cannot supersede our recommendation. By charter, only the Budget Committee can submit a budget, can submit a docket. That's why it's so unusual.
So it's an illegal maneuver?
Well, may I jump in?
Please.
The situation is this, is that there is a tax cap in Tiverton, okay? And the tax cap is 4.5%. It's changing. It's 4.5% right now. And the budget committee came in at 4.4, just under the cap.
Under the cap.
Okay? And the requested budgets that came in from the school and the town were, hey, we need 9% tax increase to fund our budgets, okay? And what's happened is that on April the 12th, the town council voted, okay? They voted to go to Providence and ask for permission to break the cap because they didn't get their budgets.
All right, when you say
okay?
go to Providence.
To go to the state.
Legislature?
Well, there's a Department of Administration, and they are in charge of administering and making sure cities and towns are in conformance with the tax cap policy.
The state law specifies if you break the 4.5% tax cap, you have to come to them and ask permission and get permission from the state
above.
to break the tax cap.
Now,
So-
the tax cap 4.4%, is that a state recommendation?
That is, it used to be 5.5%, and it's now every year drops 0.25%, and it will finally stop dropping in 2013 at 4%. Okay, that's compared to Massachusetts 2.5.
Yeah.
Like we end at 4, but every year it's been dropping down under new laws. But go ahead.
The difficulty, well, the controversy with this all is that the budget committee worked hard to get under the cap to 4.4. So by the statute, it would appear the town cannot ask for the waiver from the state.
For the override.
Because we don't need the money, we're under the cap, according to the official budget at this point. So the town administrator has changed documents that were previously signed by the town council president.
Changed them.
them.
That's forgery, isn't it?
Well,
It's
you could call it
interesting.
false.
Okay,
False
fraud.
documents.
Fraud?
I mean,
False
he's not
documents.
claiming them to be official, I guess, but he's sending them to Providence, or has, I think, to request a waiver for a budget that they prefer. So that's the if they get that waiver, we're estimating the town could be cleared to increase taxes up to 15%. So the numbers here are 4.4 is the budget committee, 9 is the town council and school committee, and up to 15 is our estimate of what the state may say you can do if the financial town.
15%, I mean, that's an enormous increase.
There's some shenanigans going on here. We mentioned this 4.5%. On the 6th of April, Mr. Bolin, the president of the town council, certified numbers submitted to the state that were the budget committee numbers.
Right.
13 days later, he submitted another set of numbers, also certified, that used the town council numbers, the 9% numbers. When we talk about transparency of what the TCC is involved in, this is a primary issue of that. What number are we talking about? Are we talking 4.5%, which is the legal number submitted, approved by the budget committee? Or is it 9% that has been added by the town council, which, by the way, is in violation of the town charter and possibly state law? So when we start talking about what's so much is at stake here at this financial town
When you
meeting,
say they're in violation of the town charter, in which way?
do you want to take that or shall I?
Well, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. That's a claim that I've made many times on camera, Richard, and specifically, if you look at the structure of the government and the budget flow, okay, what happens is that the eventual budget that gets proposed at the meeting to the voters is the one of the budget committee, okay?
All right.
And that 4.4 are the numbers that will be proposed. Now, if they get amended up or down, it's supposed to be those numbers. And if the charter only provides for one proposed budget, and that's that of the duly elected budget committee. What these forms, what's happening with these forms that have been submitted to the state to exceed the cap is that the numbers which were properly submitted on April 6th, which have the budget committee numbers, okay, and showed everything under the cap nicely, have been replaced by the requested numbers. So it comes out we need 9%.
So what's the budget committee for?
Well,
Like,
I've
you
made
just-
that claim on TV as well.
Just dissolve it, because apparently,
Well, it gets actually better than that, better being a term of art. The town solicitor, Andrew Tights, has argued to the town council that the
Repeatedly.
financial town meeting is actually authorized to ignore the state waiver and do whatever it wants. So in theory, 15%, according to the town solicitor, is just a hypothetical that the state might stamp. But he's saying it could be even higher than that. So that's an argument people have made. Why is the budget committee exist? Why not just give the entire authority to the financial town meeting or the town council?
But the town charter clearly does not do that.
Yeah.
So when we
That's
start
not the
talking
law.
shenanigans involved at this level,